The film begins in 1974, setting the scene in a cold Canadian city. A disoriented young man stands at a ticket counter, unsure of his destination. After hesitating, he decides on a ticket to Montreal. On the bus, the man, named Martin, ends up sitting next to a stranger named Matt. The two strike up a casual conversation, and it becomes evident they both share a desire to escape their pasts. Conveniently, they find a nearby car rental. As they drive, Matt talks about his troubled family life and his passion for music. Suddenly, they experience another tire blowout. As Matt tries to change the tire, Martin unexpectedly kicks him into the path of an oncoming vehicle. Matt is critically injured, lying helpless on the roadside. Martin calmly approaches him, takes his wallet and guitar, then picks up a heavy rock and violently smashes Matt's head, ensuring his death. He walks away from the gruesome scene, casually singing like Matt used to. The murder makes headlines, but over the next 20 years, similar killings occur without any resolution. The case remains cold, and the killer unidentified. Flash forward to the present day. At a construction site, a worker uncovers a corpse buried beneath the site. Elsewhere, a middle-aged woman informs police that she recently encountered her son, who supposedly died 16 years earlier. She's terrified, claiming that her son was deeply dangerous. The police, struggling with the new body discovered at the construction site, seek assistance from FBI profiler Illeana Scott. The department head assigns detectives Paquette and Duval to assist her. They find Illeana lying inside the excavation pit, closely examining the corpse. After some disagreement, Illeana explains that this was a premeditated killing. The precision of the burial and the symmetric pit indicate the murderer wanted the body found, selecting a construction site to ensure it would eventually surface. Soon after, another body is found with a similar method of execution, its face brutally destroyed. However, this time there's a witness, a man named James Costa. During his police interview, Costa recounts seeing the killer strike the victim's face with a rock. When he screamed, the murderer pointed a gun at him before fleeing. Costa, an artist, offers to sketch the killer's face. Detective Paquette, skeptical of Costa's account, doesn't take him seriously. Illeana takes over and brings Costa paper to draw. During questioning, she subtly drops the strangulation cord used in the murder. Costa reacts in fear, clearly disturbed. Observing him, Illeana becomes convinced of his innocence because Costa is right-handed. While the killer's strangulation marks suggest a left-handed attacker, furthermore, psychopaths lack emotional response to stimuli, but Costa visibly reacts, proving he's not the killer. The police distribute Costa's sketch, and soon they receive a lead about a man fitting the description who had rented a room in the city. The landlord says the man paid for 3 months in advance, but was never seen again. Illeana and Duval inspect the apartment. It's dusty and unused. When Illeana checks the ceiling, she discovers a bag containing a wallet and a severed finger wearing a ring. Suddenly, a corpse falls from the ceiling, shocking them both. The ring is traced to a man named Clark William Edward, a 34-year-old part-time cruise worker. His credit card was recently used in Montreal, although no theft had been reported. Phone records show he called one number repeatedly. It belongs to Rebecca Asher, the same woman who claimed her son had returned from the dead. Illeana meets with Rebecca and shows her the sketch Costa drew. Rebecca isn't sure if it's her son Martin, noting that he had a beard when she last saw him. She reveals that Martin had a twin brother, Reese, who died saving Martin during a rafting accident. Since that day, Martin changed, becoming aggressive and unstable. At 16, he stole her jewelry and vanished. Years later, she was told he died in an accident. Illeana suspects the body in Martin's grave isn't him. They exhume the corpse and find multiple broken bones, but none on the finger Rebecca said Martin had once broken. This confirms the body isn't Martin Asher. The following day, Illeana presents her findings. She theorizes that Martin Asher is a serial killer who has murdered at least 11 men, starting with Matt, his first victim, shown at the film's beginning. Martin's pattern involves targeting solitary men who won't be missed. He kills them, assumes their identities, and lives as them, until boredom leads him to seek a new victim. Costa later reports to police that someone broke into his gallery and he believes it's the same killer. While investigating, Illeana sees that Costa had scheduled a meeting with Clark William Edward, the man whose corpse was recently found. It becomes clear that the meeting could have been with the killer. The police ask Costa to cooperate in a sting operation. He agrees to meet Clark again, while the police wait nearby. Costa waits at a bar for hours, but the killer never shows. The police fear the suspect knew it was a setup. To ensure Costa's safety, officers are assigned to watch his home. Illeana reassures him that he's protected. The next day, Costa hosts a painting exhibition. Police are on site watching closely. A suspicious man appears. As they approach him, he bolts, crashing through a glass window and escaping into a crowded street carnival. The police lose him in the chaos. Fearing for Costa's life, the department decides to move him out of town. Duval is assigned to escort him. As Costa packs, Illeana, concerned, decides to check on him. But before she arrives, the suspicious man from the gallery appears and attacks Costa. They fight. Costa screams for help. Duval rushes in, followed by Illeana, who arrives moments later. She hears a gunshot and races to the room, only to find Duval dead. Outside, a car speeds away with Costa inside, being held at gunpoint. Illeana chases them in her vehicle but loses sight. The kidnapper's car crashes and explodes. Costa survives. DNA from the body in the car matches Martin Asher. The case seems closed. Later that night, Costa visits Illeana at home. Their mutual attraction leads them to spend the night together. In the morning, blood is seen on the bed. Illeana panics but learns it's from Costa's reopened stitches. At the hospital, while his wounds are being treated, Illeana receives a call from Paquette requesting her presence at the morgue. Also in the hospital, Rebecca Asher arrives to identify the burned body presumed to be her son, but she's unsure. It doesn't feel like her son. She abruptly leaves. Illeana tries to follow but misses the elevator. Inside, Costa appears and calls her Mom, confronting her about always loving Reese more. This confirms Costa is actually Martin Asher. Illeana races up the stairs and finds Rebecca murdered in the elevator, with Martin standing over her, soaked in blood. Illeana is stunned, unable to stop him as he walks away. Illeana tells Paquette and the police chief that Costa is Martin Asher. They rush to his apartment, but he's already gone. On a train, Martin chats casually with a man, his next target. Back at Costa's home, the police learn the man seen earlier at the gallery was Christopher Hart, a petty thief who sold his paintings to Martin. Martin used Hart as a decoy to fake his own death. Illeana later receives a call from Martin, who smugly admits he enjoyed being Costa and being with her. Enraged, she smashes her phone. Police trace a train ticket purchase using a victim's credit card and rush to the station. But once again, Martin evades capture. Back at home, Illeana begins to piece everything together. Martin staged the gallery break-in, lured Hart to his apartment, killed Duval, faked a kidnapping, and orchestrated the car explosion, all to make the police believe he had died. Realizing she's been manipulated, Illeana is devastated. The next day, Illeana resigns from the FBI, blamed for failing the case due to her emotional involvement. 7 months later, she's shown living alone in a remote house, seemingly pregnant with Martin's child. But her peace is shattered when Martin suddenly appears, revealing he's been watching her the entire time. Illeana reaches for her hidden gun, but Martin has already emptied it. He says he wants to start a new life with her and the baby. When she refuses, he becomes violent, punching her and stabbing her in the stomach with scissors. But to his shock, Illeana turns the scissors on him, stabbing him in the chest. It's revealed that she was never pregnant. She faked it to lure Martin back and worked with the police the entire time. Her apparent dismissal from the FBI was part of the plan. The film ends with Martin finally brought down by the woman he thought he had fooled.